What's going on, guys? Austin back, and today we are going to be going over every spawn peak on every single Rainbow Six Siege X map in the game. Now, I did this video around a year ago, and it was like one of the first videos that I actually did sitting down and like, educationally kind of wise did. So today we're obviously going to re-update. We're updating that video. We're making it in Siege X. We're going to be adding new spawn peaks on every single map, and then also just kind of condensing the size of it because it was a very long video. But I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time, so make sure you guys hit the like subscribe button if you guys are interested in this video. My socials are down in the description if you guys want to check me out on any other platform. And without further ado, let's get right into the spawn peaks. Alright, so for the first map, we're going to be doing Oregon. Now, for all the maps, I'm literally just going to be running throughout the map, showing you guys all of the spawn peaks. So I don't want to yap too much on them because I feel like I get a lot of comments where I yap too much. So I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum this video. But the first spawn peak we're going to have is going to be on this double window inside of bunks. And all you're going to do is you're either going to make a punch hole, a slit hole, whatever you want down here, or you can make a standing hole, whatever you want. And all you're going to do is going to aim over here, because what will happen, people who want to play on this big window when you're defending the second floor will come from the spawn over there, which is like Junkyard, I think, or something like that. I don't know the names of the spawns, but they'll rappel up, and then you'll be able to, see them and kill them before they get up here. Now, this one is a little, because, or not but they will have their gun most of the time up, so you just have to worry about that. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here, but that is pretty much one for second floor. Now, that one's pretty common. This one is also very common, so I'll talk about it pretty shortly. So all you're going to do is you're going to come into this master, or this bedroom single door on the balcony, and you basically just aim it right here. I mean, this is pretty common. This is, people will flood behind the car, in front of the car, and all you have to do is just, aim here. You can also do it where you crouch or you're prone. This will save you a lot, from getting shot, because a lot of people pre-fire this. So having this will just be more security for you, but it is harder to land an actual spawn peak. Moving on, we have this single window over here. This is pretty easy. I've gotten spawn peak to this a lot of times in the past. All you have to do is aim down here. This is good for like any single site. Same with the one over there in a bedroom. But you just aim here and they'll just walk straight towards you. And the last one on the second floor is going to be over in, what is this room called? Armory. And all you do is, I used to do this one a lot, but all you do is you just sit here, you aim right here, and people will become behind the police van. But obviously Oregon spawn peaks are very common. A lot of these are very common, so a lot of people try to pre-fire them, so just make sure you're watching out, especially down there. Another one you can do is right here on this main door, where you can stand here and then aim like over here by this police van. People will run this way. You can do one where a lot of people will like go up and then they'll like stand and get a kill. You can do a lot of variations. This is more of a, like a run out instead of like a spawn peak, but we're gonna group those together today. Another one you can do is, obviously, if you want to not open the whole thing up and not be super obvious. I showed this one in, I think, the first video, but all you have to do is come down here. You make like a little hole. Obviously, I kind of made it kind of big, but if you just make it like this and you do like a little slit, you can come around the corner and you can get some kills like there, which is very good. Another one is you can do a jump out here where you wait like 5 seconds and then you jump out right here, and then they'll all be by the police van. That is another good one for the front entrance. And then obviously we got the ones over here where you can do like a crouch or a prone hole, sorry, and then you just wait for them to come here, or you can stand here and then wait for them to come up over through that spawn. So yeah, bro, there's a lot on Oregon, especially on that main entrance side, which is why spawning over there can be like kind of insane sometimes. Moving over by small tower, this is like shower hallway. I just want a lot, but all you do is you just make like a little punch hole here, and then you just wait for them to come out of this spawn. Now this one doesn't have a huge success rate because a lot of people don't come through like this side, right? They kind of just go through the front side and then rappel up or whatever they want to do, or push more through tower. But if they come to this side, a lot of times it's a free kill because they're not like expecting it, especially expecting that kind of spawn peak. But that is pretty much all of the spawn peaks, bro, or all the runouts that I can think of. Now, moving over, I guess, down in the basement, you can run out through like dirt. I mean, that would be one that you could do. Oregon just has a lot through that front side, I feel like, which obviously I showed you guys there's a ton on the second floor, but you can always go into like dirt over here and then like run out or bunker, whatever you want to call it, or you know what I mean. But you wait a little bit and then you run out and then you're able to see them because they'll spawn over here and they'll run. That's a good one for basement, I would say. But you know, people will expect that, right? You know, because it's gonna be your side. But then the other one last one that I have for you guys that you guys can do is going to be by, you know, coming over into this T2 area, and or this is T1, sorry, and you can, you know, find you know, this isn't really like insane one, but you can pretty much just see all the angles over there if they're running over here, or you can run out and get an angle down into that little under area down there. And I said that was the last one, but I guess you can pretty much spawn peek like tons of towers in here. You can come over here, you can spawn peek this area, you can come over here, I guess, you can spawn peek that top area. I mean, like there's just endless possibilities, you know what I mean, within this tower and within this map, because a lot of maps will not have this many spawn peeks. You can spawn peek here if you want, in the tower. I know one of my friends does this a lot. You can spawn peek over here too. Just insane amount of spawn peaks. I said that was the last one in like T1, but coming down here, I guess you can do one where you come out here and you can like run out, and then they'll be like all right here. So that is pretty much all the spawn peaks on Oregon. We kind of ran that up time wise, but yeah, make sure you guys use those spawn peaks on those runouts on Oregon, and you will get tons and tons of kills. All right, so the next map we're going to be getting into is going to be Clubhouse. Now, starting on the second floor and getting the spawn peak, you can pretty much spawn peek all of these two windows over here. So in gym and also in master bedroom. I haven't spawn peeked this in so long, but you know, you can get up on the bed, you can get an angle over here from the like main entrance spawn, and you can get one from over here. Those are two like very like classic ones, bro. But moving over to this jacuzzi wall. Now I see this one, people do this one a lot, but they do it a lot with like people do this with like echo, where they'll send like an echo drone out and then they'll see if anyone's over here. So like you can do a jacuzzi run out where you're running out and going over into this spawn, or I see a lot of the times, and I've died at this so many times, where they'll come up and they'll kill you over here when you're pushing like basement, because you'll obviously try to get like dirt open and stuff like that, and they'll be able to, you know, literally fry you like that. So that is one that I see a lot. Also, I see this one a lot right on these stairs, where, you know, obviously you're peeking dirt, outside of dirt and stuff like that. Moving down to the first floor, because there's not really a ton on the second floor, I would say. I saw this one on Jinxie. Jinxie actually plugged me with this one. This one's in my OG video, but here is a great spawn peek where, you know, obviously people will look at this, but I found that people used to look at this a lot more, but they don't a lot anymore. I don't spawn peek a ton anymore, but like, bro, this one's really good because people will not be able to see you and not expect you from there. So that is a great one. I do this spawn peek now, like this one right here that I'm about to show you a lot, where you just pull down this door, and then immediately as the round starts, what you're gonna do is you're gonna run out, and then you're gonna, sorry, I kind of messed that up, but over there's the spawn, and people will run out. So if you don't want to go out maybe right away, you want to wait like a second, you run out and people will line up for there, and you'll be able to, if not get a kill, get a little bit of damage in, which, you know, is, you know, huge for winning rounds. You know, obviously all the little damage you can get. This is a spawn peek I see a lot, where people kind of just crouch over here and be like little pests. And then moving over, also in this room, you can do that little, I think this is the one I actually meant. Yeah, this is definitely the one I meant, not the other one. The other one I guess you can do, but this one is better because people come over here and you can just kill them, and it's like really annoying to die to. I don't spawn there anymore just because of that one. I think I died one time and I never spawned there again. This is another one that's very common, I would say, and very well known, but all you do is you come to like this strip door, and you can kind of sit here. People will run through, you know, right here. People will run through this backside because you're in between like two spawns, so you just have to, you know, be careful, really use your ears and stuff, which may be hard in CJX, but also you can just catch, oh, this is my controller drift, sorry. You can catch people rappelling up too, which is really nice, and on this roof. So that is a little beaut right there. Now we're gonna book it onto the other side of the map. But yeah, Consulate has a lot of different ones. Obviously there's a lot of doorways and different angles that you can get on within this map. It's kind of like Oregon, I would say, in a lot of ways, but These last three are going to be very common. You can sit right here with this door. Obviously, you just have to watch 2 ways, so it's more like your ears. I would say that one's not like insanely good, but also in this other stock door, obviously this one's very common. You can peek through this way. The spawn is literally right there, so people will come around those pillars and stuff, or planks, whatever you want to call them, bro. I don't even know, bro. The Fortnite pallet, the pallets. And then also we have in this storage room, you do the punch hole, or you know what I mean, the slit hole, and then you're able to shoot over into that spawn over there. And the last one we have for this map is going to be over in the garage. Just a little simple one. Obviously spawns right over there, so you can just aim right here. You can aim right here, you know what I mean. 2 angles again, so you just have to watch out for that. But those are all of the actually before I do that, one last one that I will show you guys, because I feel like this one's like common, but like not a ton of people do it, where it's like you make some holes over here, like a crouch hole, and they'll just sit right here and you can see into the spawns, which I also see people make like punch holes instead, and they'll do this without, so you can't like see the big hole right here, but punch hole, crouch hole, walkout hole, whatever you want to do, you can get a spawn peek into this spawn from that angle. But that's going to be all for Clubhouse. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so next map we have to cover is going to be Consulate. Now for Consulate, there's a lot of different ones you can do. There's so many windows on this map. I feel like there's just a lot on every single map. The first one we're going to be talking about is going to be top yellow. You can literally make a punch hole here, or bullet slit, whatever you want to do, and aim right here, because people will run from the spawn that's over there. I don't know the name of any of the spawns, I'm sorry guys, but over there, that spawn, they'll come over here, try to repel, or not repel up, but they'll go over to this little platform area to bait outside of bathroom and stuff like that. They come over there and gets free kills right there. Moving on, we're gonna go over to the other side of the second floor, and we're gonna go actually to this little breach area, which I think this one is actually pretty decent. I don't see this one used a lot, but this one can be very effective, where you're making like a little like exit hole, and you can run out, and then you can literally have free range of everything in this area. So from that spawn, from this spawn, you can peek over there. A lot of people, you know what I mean. So a lot of people, I feel like, use this on like basement or second floor. And then they'll just like, if they're second floor, they'll reinforce it. But basement, I think, is a really big one, because people will run that way or try to push this main area down below me. So that is a very good one. And then also, I'm not going to cover it too much or talk about it too much, but you can do any of these windows where you're peeking like there, you're peeking there. And then we'll head over to this one over here, where you're able to make this, and then you kind of have free range of that, you know, front side of the map. So that is a good one. And then the last one, I think, for second floor, we're going to be going over, is going to be this one. I don't think there's any other ones, but this back spawn, I feel like not a lot of people spawn in this back one, but if you want to do it for like a basement, it'd be decent, because right under here is you have that like soft wall to push down into the basement. So that would be good to kind of, you know, obviously people would spawn here, you can maybe get a free pick over there and alleviate some of that back side pressure that you're going to be facing on the basement. Moving on to the first floor, you can do a little front door, you know, like I think this is Tellers. No, this is Visa. Yo, nice. But you get you know, 2 angles from that spawn over there. Another one, obviously this is just like the upstairs one, but this is on the first floor. I would just prefer, I think it would be better if you just did the first floor one, or the second floor one, my bad, but that one's not horrible, you know, it's not horrible. But this next one we're going over is, I try to do this a lot, and it just never works for me, but I feel like it works for everybody, is you prep this window, you like tear it all the way down, and then you wait like maybe 3 to 5 seconds, jump out, and then right there people will spawn, and they'll be, you know, rotating wherever, basement, second floor, and you can catch some people off guard. I feel like I always do that one, and it never works for me, but maybe it'll work for you. This one is basically just the one above it, but it's more like ground level, so maybe you can, you know, if you like it more this way or whatever, however you want to do it, you know. I think that is a good one out of yellow stairs. And then probably the last one I'm going to cover, because you can't really do any of the basement, but this last one is probably the most common one that I see this probably like 1 out of 3 Consulate games, is you prep this window right in closet, and what you do is you wait like I think it's like 5 seconds. You do like 3 to 5 seconds. You jump out and then you aim right over here because people will come like straight through this like open area, and they'll run over here, you know, to, you know, get the basement, you know, rappel up or whatever, and you can just catch them. But this one again is very common. I feel like this is the most popular one, so just watch out while you're doing it. You gotta have good aim. But that is gonna be all the spawn peaks on Consulate. Go get your free kills. All right, next up, we're going to head into Bank. And I feel like Bank doesn't have as much as some of the other maps, but we're going to run through this one really quick, or quicker, hopefully. So pretty much, I'm just going to group all of these windows, these two, and then these 8 windows, pretty much together, because if you shoot slits, you're able to pretty much see that spawn and spawn peek that spawn. Or you can spawn peek people that run all the way over from the spawn over, like, on the west side of the map. And they'll run over here and go on these big windows. So I'm just going to group all these together because you can make slit holes, punch holes, whatever you want, and just aim at where either that side or that spawn and probably get some kills. So that is the first one that I will say for that map, or for this map. First 8 you can do, technically. I mean, it's 1, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But the next one, I'm going to come over here to top square. You remove this, or you can make a punch hole, and if you aim like up here, a lot of the time you can maybe catch people climbing up the ladder. Now this one is kind of like, you know, you're getting a little freaky with this spawn peek, I can't lie, but I think this one is pretty decent. Or that one's a little risky, but it can definitely work out for you. Now moving on to the first floor. Now this is janitor. I'm pretty electrical, bro. Come on, bro. My callouts are so bad. This one's pretty common, but obviously this is this like little back alley spawn. You can either aim here, you can either aim here, you know what I mean, wherever you want to aim. This one is pretty common, so make sure you watch what you're doing with that one. You can do punch hole, you can do, you know, crouch hole, punch hole, standing punch hole, whatever. Also this one, I mean, this one maybe is a little idiotic, but if you really want to get ballsy, you know, obviously you have to again watch 2 ways, but a lot of people will come over here if they're pushing, especially basement. Now if they're pushing basement, I prefer to just kind of like play in this like this open area. Yeah, okay, dude, I'm not locked today, bro, but I prefer to play back, but you can also do that spawn peek. That's not like, not like a horrible one, you know, to do. Moving on to, what is this? Loan office. You can, this one is pretty common too. You basically take off the barricade, you kind of prep it, and you wait probably like 5 to 8 seconds, jump out, and then you can kind of obviously get a, you know, whole view of, you know, the ramp down to garage. If you are defending basement, or if you're pushing second floor, a lot of people are trying to push like main door, get on this rappel, you know, go to the front windows on the other side of the map. So, you know, you're gonna be able to catch a lot of different people and a lot of different traffic through that way. Moving on, I would say it's like the last one, low key. Front door. This one, super common. Obviously, you prep the front door and then you wait like maybe like 35 seconds, run out, catch people there, you know what I mean? Or if you want to get a little ballsy, you can go the other side, which I would just prefer you just spawn peek this spawn. But that is going to be all on bank. The only other one that I can think of is basement, like running out garage. But like, again, that's like very reminiscent to this one, which I guess I'll show you guys, because this is every spawn peek, bro. I can't be cutting y'all short. Let's just walk over there. So I'll explain it while I'm on the way. Is you pretty much, you're just gonna wait like, you're gonna wait like 5-10 seconds, because it's gonna take them a minute to get to that spawn, to like where you want to spawn peek them. But all you're gonna do, this one's very dangerous. I would say it's a lot less dangerous than the lone, it's a lot more dangerous than the lone one, but basically you just run out this way and you can catch people rotating down and stuff like that. But if you want to wait a little bit longer, I guess, because then they'll be closer, so you can like, you know not get like held on an angle super far by someone. But yeah, that is every single spawn peek on bank that I would tell you guys to do, or run out. And let's get into the next one. All right, next map we're gonna move on is going to be Kanal. Now for Kanal, we got a lot of different ones we can do. For the first one, we're gonna go through the back hallway, and this is more of a run out, but obviously you're just gonna wait here, and pretty much all you're waiting for is them to rappel up. So low key, like 10 seconds, bro. wait like 10 seconds. They'll rappel up. You'll be able to get this far angle for anyone rappelling up. Moving on to this like hallway area outside of spawn, you can do this. I call this green window, but I don't know what everybody calls it, but I call it green window, where you're able to spawn peek, you know, this side where people are coming out from this spawn. This is more for like second floor, I feel like. But you can aim that way. They'll come either way. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the second floor. I mean, the second floor isn't really big on Kanal, but I'm gonna group like all of these different ones like together. So for this, obviously, like this like door over here, where's this? In museum. Obviously you can spawn peek that way. This is all for like this area, those like that like step area. You can do it for this way, you know, you can come out from, you know, this way. Just you can kind of destroy that and then like hang out right there. I found that's like obviously what a lot of people do. Obviously this is another way you can do it, just at a different spot where you're looking up that staircase and you're looking up that way. And then another one is this double, obviously looking up that way, and then this single window that way, and then that way. So just like literally, it's a lot like Bank, where there's like a ton of windows just looking at like one area to spawn peek. So that one is definitely doable. This next one is like kind of a jump out, where you just are gonna kind of wait and then you can like jump out and like, kill people that way, or jump out and kill people that way. I don't know, you just kind of gotta time that. You gotta kind of play on like this cam and then the cam over in the other spawn. But yeah, that is one that you can do. And then both of these doors down here in this like little outside of diving, alcove, whatever that means, but you can spawn peek this way for people coming over there, and then you can make like a little slit and spawn peek through that lockers window. I mean, what else? I feel like the only other one we haven't talked about is going to be the trench run out, where you pretty much where you can trench run out, where you come up, you run up the stairs, and then you like fight people here, which is kind of dumb because it's like, you know, they can see you, like you're detected pretty quickly before you can actually like fight them. But like they'll run up through this way, they'll run up through these stairs. A lot of people do come out here with like a C4. So like they'll come out, they'll like toss a C4, and then they'll blow that up, and they'll just try to line it with right on these stairs or like this area pretty much. So that is every spawn peek run out on Kanal. Hopefully these spawn peeks and that can get you some free kills. Next map we're on to is going to be Chalet. So for Chalet, there's actually a good amount of ones for Chalet. So this first one and these first couple, this piano and bathroom one that I'm going to show you, is just kind of for the same spot, where you make like a punch hole, slit hole, and then you look for people rotating from the spawn like over by like the helipad. And they'll rotate here to the front area to play on the balcony. So you can catch people right there. And then moving on to the bathroom, come over here, and this one gives you more of a clear shot, right? Because, excuse me, the piano one is, you know, obviously like kind of like a really small area. Now this one covers it all, so you have to watch out for this angle, but it's a very good one, very common one also, so you just have to watch out. Also over here in solar, or trophies. This is solar, right? I think so. I'm out of whack. You basically just aim here, people will come from that top area. And then I almost forgot this one right on the master double. You can stand up on this bed and you get an angle onto the cliff. Now this is a little cheeky one that you can do on like when you're basement. Obviously you can do this when you're like upstairs on any bomb site for this map, but especially on the basement I feel like this works because a lot of people will not look, you know, to this master area, but they will spawn cliffs, so you're able to, you know, cut them down right there. But that is it for the upstairs. Oh wait, no, that is not it for the upstairs. We're gonna head back upstairs super fast. Wow, I can't. We're just gonna get this one out of the way too. You can cut this is like a bedroom. You can make a little punch hole and spawn peek this spawn back there. Punch holes low-key like kind of got nerfed, I'm not gonna lie. Now this one in games is very common, so just watch out while you're doing this one. Basically all you have to do is just aim in this direction. People from helipad will come over here and you get some free kills. I killed Glybo on that angle one time. just thought I'd let you guys know about that one. Or he tried to spawn peek me, but I got him. And then this 2 more upstairs that I didn't include that I almost forgot to is going to be this jump out, which is right here in the library. You're gonna wait like 5-8 seconds, jump out. They can either be right here or on the helipad. So just aim over there, just pray for the best. Hopefully they're in your scope. And then moving on, obviously this one and the one below on the main door are very common, right? So obviously you come over here, you spawn peek this cliff side. I don't really need to explain that too much. And then same thing with this one, like a little shoot hole, slit hole, and then you do that. Aim towards the cliff, hope for the best, get your 3 kills. And then this one is going to be, I would say this is common. I've tried this a couple times, but you can either, you know, you jump out this way, and this is just another variation of like the library one, but you just kind of exclude the helipad, and then they'll just like the people running there. But you also have to watch through this side too, so just make sure you're very cautious with doing that one, because that one can definitely be pretty bad for you. And then moving over into kitchen and all that, we have, excuse me, I don't know now somewhere. Oh, Jesus, down here in trophy, basically you shoot open like a little hole over here, and the people from cliff, a lot of the time, sometimes when they're pushing like basement or like kitchen and stuff like that, will spawn over there and rotate over to this side. So here you're able to just kind of aim over here and pick off some people. And for the last spawn peek, we will obviously have this little door one, where you can come back here. You know, people will come down this way, people will come down this way, people will come down this way, just depending on where the site is, where you hear the noises. Just make sure you guys are, you know, obviously listening and, you know, having your ears right. But that is basically all the spawn peeks on Chalet. There's a good amount. Make sure you guys are doing the runouts and spawn peeks for some free kills. All right, next up, we are going to headed to Kafe Dostoyevsky to get you guys some spawn peeks. So the first couple, we're gonna obviously be over in CL, like piano over here. Now, I don't need to show you, I don't need to get too in depth on these because everyone knows these. The Christmas market spawn peek. Obviously, you're aiming either over here, you're aiming over here, you're aiming over there. You can also do this on this window too, where you're aiming right here, you're aiming right there, you can aim right there, wherever you please, man. Wherever you please, you can aim. So those are the first 2. Moving over here, this is like white hallway, where you can aim down there. Obviously, people, you can aim over here to get that spawn peek, or you can, I guess you can aim down here too. A lot of different areas you can aim right there, but make sure you guys are watching yourself because all of these ones on the upstairs are very common, I feel like. And obviously Kafe is such a, you know, notorious spawn peek map that, like, you know, you gotta watch out for that. Now moving on, dude, I always forget this fireplace. This is another spawn peek you can do. You can aim down here by this truck, over here, just a lot of different ways to get spawn peeked on this map, bro. This is why I hate spawning as an attacker on this map. But there is also a trick, bro. I don't know if you can still do it, but you used to be able to like run up onto here and like onto the windowsill or something. I don't know if you can still do that, but if you can run over there and then spawn peek like Christmas market over there. This one in train, I literally almost forgot to do this one, but what you do is, you don't have to tear it all the way down, but I'm just gonna do it, where you like do that, and you shoot like slit holes, and then you get like an angle right here, and you also, you can't get it over here, I don't think. Yeah, no, you can't. You can only get it right here, but this is like a really good cheeky one that you can do. Moving on more to the second floor. This is one right like hell over here, where you can shoot right here, shoot right there. This is like the canal little spawn right by the water. I think that's river docks, if I'm not mistaken. And then this one is a run out, where this one is so common, bro. I swear someone knows this every single game, bro. But all you do is you wait like 5-8 seconds, and then you run out, and then you're able to catch people from like right here. You can catch people from right there. That is a pretty good one. And then moving on to the first floor, in final, one spawn peek you can do is right here. You can pop up on this, and then you get an angle right over there to that front entrance. That is a little cheeky one, I would say. Little cheeky bugger. Coming back to this like backstairs kind of area, A lot of the time, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'll come back here, shoot a little slit, and just aim right here, because a lot of the time, not a lot of people come around this area, but if they do, bro, they're not expecting a spawn peak. But this is another one. You can open this door and then aim towards this middle area. And then even if no one spawns over here, you can end up running out if you do hear people back there through those back stairs. And then moving on to, I would say, pretty much the last spawn peak we have for Cafe, which we ran through a lot of those pretty fast, is this one out here. Right in small bake. Now you can shoot a slit hole, I guess, or a punch hole, or you know, do a punch hole and, you know, aim straight or whatever, or you can do a jump out, which I feel like a lot of people have seen like Spoit do this kind of jump out, where you wait a little bit, 5 to 8 seconds, and then you jump out, and you're able to see the people that are, you know, all over in this area. So that is going to be every single spawn peak on Kafe Dostoyevsky. All right, so moving on to border. We got a couple different spawn peaks on this second floor that we'll get straight into. The first one is going to be on this, this is archives. You do a little jump out here. Now you wait a little bit, obviously, just so they can all pile up, but you do a little jump out. They'll all come down flooding on the sill, or they'll be back there. Just watch out. Next up, we have this one on the double door, or on the single door, where you can kind of peek right here, and you can catch some people down here sometimes. Now, those are very two uncommon ones that I don't see a lot, but they definitely work. They definitely can work if you put them to the right use. Next up, we're going to head over to east stairs. You break down this door. Now, this one is pretty common, too. You break down this door, and this is going the same way as those other two, is you're just going to wait like 5 seconds, run out, people will be running out the hallway. Just got to watch out for this tree, because it can, you know, get in your way a good amount. And then the opposite door of east, literally the opposite of it, you wait a little bit, 5-8 seconds, and then you're able to run out, and people will be running across this like area right here. Maybe a little bit more than 5 seconds. I give it like 8 to 10 seconds. You run out, and you're able to find people, and you can also find people down on this, you know, the balcony area around the map. And then obviously this one is super common. I don't even know if I need to touch on this one, but you make a little slit hole, and this is just like another variation to keep them from even getting onto this thing. But watch out, because people will definitely look at that one, bro. Definitely, that's like the most common one on this map. You can also do it from this door right in break room. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the ones on the second floor. Let's go down to the first floor, because there is a couple that you can do. You can do one on this, like this main door. This one's a little cheeky for the second floor, but I mean, if you want to go for it, you can go for that one. Just aim straight and pray. This one is for like workshop and stuff like that. You make a little slit, and then you're able to kind of spawn peek this area. That one's very common. Just make sure you're watching yourself on that one, bro, because that one will get you killed, bro. That one will get you killed. But for the last spawn peak we have on this map, there's not really a lot on border, I'm gonna be honest. It's going to be right at this front door at like passport, and all you do is you make like a slit here, and you can get an angle of people who are like running down from like the spawn over there. And it's a really small angle, but honestly, bro, you can get a lot of kills on this. And then you can also pair this as like a variation where if like no one goes over there, right, you can obviously open this too, and it gives you more of an angle to look at. But if no one goes over there, then you can actually look up here, and a lot of people won't actually look down, so you're going to be able to catch a lot of people, you know, are rotating and trying to get into the, you know, building. But those are going to be all these spawn peaks on border. For the next map, we're going to be heading over to Skyscraper. And for Skyscraper, we got a couple that I'm going to go over to. I'm not going to play this map too much, but obviously we're going to get some good spawn peaks. So the first one is going to be Top Dragon Shrine. And pretty much you just are going to jump out through this area, and you're going to be able to either look down here, or a lot of people, obviously, you're more just going to want to jump out and look over in this area. You can catch a lot of people rotating into wherever they want to. Now, the next one, which I did show in, I'm pretty sure I showed this in my first one. I hope I showed this one in my first one, because this is a very good one that I think a lot of people should use, is pretty much you just make like a little run out here, and you're able to peek this way or this way. Now, you can also do this where you pair with a C4, where like you don't even have to go outside. You bring a C4 and you just throw it, and a lot of the time you'll be able to get some kills, which is just free kills. So like, who would not want that, you know what I mean? Next one is you're gonna head over here into terrace, and this one's very common. Obviously, you just run out and you're able to kill anyone who's on rappel over through this way, or on the you know, area down there, which obviously that one is super common, bro. I feel like everyone does that one, bro. But moving on, we're gonna head down to the first floor because that's all the ones on the second floor. Moving on, we're gonna go through this little area. This is another very common one where, you know, you're able to, sorry, I don't know, I was thinking of split, I was thinking of the wrong one, but you make a little punch hole, you're able to see that way, you're able to see that way, you're able to see that way. That one's pretty dangerous just because there's so many angles. A lot of people know about that one. Also, this one is a little less, I would say, dangerous because you're just kind of looking this way. Obviously, you gotta hear and listen for like your left side, but through that area, that one is a very good one. Moving on, I guess you can honestly do this one over here on this like double door. I've had people do this to me when I'm pushing like dude, like statue, like dragon sight, where, you know, they'll run out and then they'll be able to kill anybody on the hell or whatever. That one's a run out that you're just gonna have to wait like a little bit for like to do. But that one is pretty good one, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on over here, this one might be the best one. What is this called? Restaurant. Pretty much all you do is you literally are just gonna sit here and aim right here. People will rappel up and not even be able to pretty much see you, bro. Like this one, dude, I put this in my first one, and I saw recently like a Richie TikTok of him dying to this, and I was like, bro, I remember that spawn peak. This one is insane, bro. This one is such a good spawn peak. You guys need to be doing that one. And then for the last two, this one's gonna be a run out where you're waiting like 5-8 seconds. You jump out, you're able to go on that little up area. From the like helipad spawn, and then for the last one, this is again we're gonna be for the helipad spawn, where you're just gonna make a punch hole and then you're gonna wait for people to funnel this way. I don't know, I don't think you can really get that. No, you can't. You can only get this way, but this one you can actually see the shadow, so it really works out. But yeah, that is all these spawn peaks on Skyscraper. All right, so moving on to Coastline. This first one is going to be in hookah. We're wasting no time with this Coastline one, but pretty much all you're gonna do is you come to this single window right here behind like the little seats, and you aim down over here into the pool area, and you're able to catch people at the feet. This one is very common, so just watch out on all these spawn peaks. I always say watch out to like some of them, but truthfully make sure you're watching out. You can, I guess, do one on the main window. My friend always does it, but like it can get a little, you know, like dicey with that one, so just watch out. You're basically just peeking like anywhere in the castle area. Now for this next one, bro, everyone does this one, dude, where you make like the little, you either tear this down or you make like this little like, you know, walk through thing, and you just wait for a little bit, and did I not make it right? And you run out and then you aim literally right here, and you come out and you aim right there. And you'll find people, because that's a very popular spawn, especially on the second floor. A lot of people spawn there on the second floor, so you see this one very commonly on the second floor. So that is one over there. And then for the last one, I'd say on the second floor is this little one on top, main stairs. I didn't know if I had like a certain name of it because I just called this top white. I just want to make sure for you guys, but you just aim down here by this like brown truck. That one's pretty common, so just watch yourself on that. Not a lot of people do that one. That one's not super effective, but I just want to show you guys. And then here's this one, main door. Okay, I kind of messed it up with that. I don't know why that was being like that, but you make the punch hole, and then you're able to watch this area right here where people are flooding through, like trying to come main entrance. That one's good for like kitchen, and even on the second floor. Pretty much every single site that one's pretty good for. I would say, but dude, I don't know how to exactly do this one, but here's this reception one where you can run out this way. You used to be able to like shoot through these, but I don't think you can anymore. So that one, you know, I don't know, you can kind of tear this down and look through this way is what more I was gonna say. Just make sure you're watching, or you're listening for like behind you and stuff like that, because you can get shredded, bro. You can get shredded on a lot of these where they have like multiple areas you need to watch out for if you're not like entirely listening. Now that we're in cocktail, this next one you can do is you make a little punch hole, and this one kind of watches the same one that aquarium one does, or that aqua, where you're kind of just looking through this area waiting for them to climb up that stairs, so you can get a kill from right there. And then also, I really like this one. I've tried this one a couple times where you kind of just open this and you're able to peek onto these stairs and even like swing out to the pool area if you want to, but pretty much you're just gonna sit here and just wait for them to come up. Now I like doing that one, but what I like doing more is you bring a C4 and you kind of have this prepped, and then you don't even need to come outside, right? Because you can go, you can throw it and then come back in, and then you can kill anybody running up. You just have to kind of wait. I would say like I would wait like 6 to 8 seconds probably for that one, but that is going to be all the spawn peaks on. Actually, no, that's not. I lied. This last one, I literally do this one. I don't know why I was going to forget it, but you make some punch holes here, or more accurately, and then you can destroy this, and then this is the same one obviously as the one above it, but you're just looking for those that stairway, and obviously they can see this head level, whereas like up there they can't, so this one you have to watch out a little bit for, but obviously you just sit there, you're able to get some heads, and that is now officially all of the spawn peaks on Coastline. We are now on theme park, and we're gonna get these spawn peaks in. So obviously it's tough for this like front side of the map, because if you know what I'm talking about, yo, there's like you can jump out of any window. I'm going outside. We're going outside. I'm showing you guys. Pretty much, I'm gonna be honest, you can jump out and spawn peek through these 2 windows, through this window, through these 6 windows. Obviously these 2 you're able to like kind of shoot these open, and then you're able to look through like this whole area in front while people rotate out of this spawn, but you can literally jump out and spawn peek all those angles. I'm not gonna like go in depth on all those because I don't want to take too long just going through like those individual ones when it all does the same thing, right? You can jump out, you know, with and have like an echo drone like patrolling, or you know what I mean, you can spawn peek through those 2 windows that I showed you, which I'll try to again to show you guys upstairs, but those are like 6 spawn peeks you can do. Here's one that you can do where you just kind of chill. What is this room? Storage, and you kind of just wait. People will come through the right side, through the left side, whatever it is, whatever it may be. This door, you're able to, I mean, that's not really deep enough for a spawn peek, I feel like, if I'm gonna be kind of frank with you guys. I was gonna show that one, but we're not gonna do that one. Now over here we have in the gong room, you can make a little punch hole, and people will run out of like I think this is like bumper cars, I'm pretty sure. People run out through that way, and you're going to be able to catch them. Now I look at this every single time, and a lot of people do look at this, so make sure you guys are being careful with that one, because you can definitely get caught up with that one. But that is gonna be all for the first floor. I kind of went straight to the first floor instead of the second floor. But yeah, that's how it is. And then you can also spawn peek that same area through this like hallway barricade, where you can look through up here. I think this is bumper cars, and people will come out through this way. So that's a very good one that you can do. That one's very, you know, I would say, you know, people watch that one. And then this is again another one for the bumper cars, where you can run out, shoot from this way. You can run out, shoot from this way. You know what I mean? You can do a lot of things, but a lot of people like to do it more like straight, I feel like, and for that side of the spawn. And then the last one we're going to be going over and doing, excuse me, is going to be over in the, I think this is cafeteria. It is. You break, no, is it this one? You break down this door, and you're able to, like, see all of this, which is basically, like, that front area, which I talked about with all the windows. People spawn there, and you can do that. Or you can do, where you jump out of this window instead. You jump over here, and then you're able to, you know, so those are all the spawn peaks on Skyscraper. I will show you guys, obviously I showed you guys those 2 windows upstairs. These are the 2 that you can spawn peek out of normally, for that front spawn, where you're there, and then I'll show you guys this and there and wherever, you know what I mean. So those are all spawn peaks on Skyscraper, or did I say Skyscraper? Theme park, I mean. And yeah, all right, moving on. Now we have Villa. We love Villa. Villa is such a great map. But the first spawn peak we're going to be looking through is into the study single door. Now this one, you can get pretty fried. You just kind of got to look over into this area. They can spawn anywhere. That's why I don't really like doing that one, because, bro, it's like such a, you know, just a massive area that you can be seen and stuff like that. So I don't really like that one. But moving on straight under, we're just gonna do all the ones in the spawn, where you're just gonna make a punch. I probably shouldn't have ripped down the whole barricade. Let me put it back up super fast. But basically you just make a little punch hole, and then you're able to look through all these spawns, no matter wherever you want to look. That is a pretty good one, I would say. This next one is a little run out. You just got to be careful. I do this one like later in the round, so I guess it's not really spawn peak, but you do that, you can kill the people on the balcony rappelled up. And then obviously I'll run back over here into like art, I'm pretty sure it's called, it is. And you make a little punch hole, and this is especially when they're like kitchen side, or where you guys are like kitchen or like statue area, because people will run up these stairs, you know, try to push over here. So that's a good one that you can do. You can do a little like laying hole, I see some people do on that one. But that one's pretty good. Let's move back upstairs real quick, real fast, and let's head over here. Sorry, bro, I'm yawning so much in this video, bro. I'm yawning so much in this video. I gotta chill. But moving into statue, we're gonna go over to master bedroom. This is another one for that little back spawn over there, where you kind of obviously are gonna sit on this angle. You can find people over there, you know, wherever, all the way over there. Just make sure you're careful, because that one is like pretty, you know, common. Also with this one, where you come over to this bathroom and you come out and you're able to see people like down there. This one is very common too. I see people do that all the time, and sometimes you see fours, so you can do that one if you want, or you can jump out a closet in there. You can also do that for that one. But moving on to the first floor, or more of the first floor, because we already did a good amount of the first floor. If you walk in mudroom down here, no, this is the wrong window, my bad. I haven't done the spawn peek in a minute. You come over here to this window, and you can spawn peek this area. Oh no, that was the right one. Okay, you can do both. So you can do that one, or you can come over here and you can do like this one. Both work just fine. You can get kills on that. Easy. And then moving over here, you can do this, because right here is the staircase, so you can hold this. People walk up, or you can hold this area too. Let's move down into the basement, because this is where we're gonna wrap up. I'm sure you guys have seen this one, because you guys have had to, bro, because like Spoit does this one, I think like Stop It does this one, where you kind of just open this, and one, you can either put a punch hole, or you can open this and just like wait, or you can come up here, you jump up on like the truck, and you're able to just like absolutely fry anyone that's right there. So those are all the small piece on Villa. Go get your free kills. Our next map we're going to be going over is going to be Outback. Now for Outback, you can spawn peek this like front area a lot of different ways through a lot of different windows. All these windows like that I'm about to show you, you can either spawn peek or jump out of. This first one, you can either look down, or you can look up on this ramp where people come up. You can do the same thing where you can make like over here when you're not like second floor, or even when you're second floor, I guess you can make a punch hole, little crouch hole, whatever you want to do, bullet hole, wherever. Not bullet hole, you can do that, but do that, and you can look at that main way. That's good for like when you're defending the party room, the other site on this map. I almost forgot this one, where you make like a little hole, and then you're able to see like feet down here for people pushing up here. So this one is a good one for like kitchen, and like, oh, I always forget what this room is, piano. So that is a good one. Those are two good ones that you can do. Moving on, this one is a good jump out that you can do, or open hole, because you can jump out, you can look over here by the breach, but you're protected by these fridges. So if you really want to, and there's nobody on this side, especially when they're party, you can jump out and then, you know, aim that way. So that one's a very versatile one that you can do, a good versatile one. Moving on into this area over here. I always forget this one. Office supplies, I usually call this one just connector, because it connects both the sites. But you can make some holes right here, and then you're able to, you know, catch people rotating up on this truck, or even like in the spawn. You know, I see a lot of people do this one, so that one is very, very good, especially. Moving on, we're in the garage. I feel like this one isn't done enough, but this one is like really good, bro. I've died to this so many times. You make some holes here, and then you kind of aim here, and people will jump up the truck, and they won't even expect that. It'll just be like quick, and they'll die, and they'll be like, oh my god, bro, that one's so annoying. But moving down, this other garage one, this one's super common. I'm not gonna talk about this one. You obviously just sit here, open this, You can open the whole door too, so even if you don't want to, you can make punch hole or like a punch hole, and you can aim right here, or you can tear down the whole door, aim right there, and have that whole area open. So that one is also a very good one, I would say. And then I guess you can do one over here where you jump out, and maybe you're able to catch some people down here. That is another one you can potentially do. I don't know how good that is going to be a lot of the time, but that one's like not horrible. Moving down here through garage, this last one through garage, you make a punch hole here, and then a lot of people coming up these stairs will come this way, and you'll be able to get a free kill. And even people not coming up the stairs, just rotating more towards this front side, you'll be able to catch a lot of people off with that one. And then moving on to this back stairs one, you can tear this window down, you can make a punch or whatever you want to do. Obviously, you see a lot of people will come up here and try to get an angle here, or they'll bring a C4, run out, throw the C4, and then run back in. That one is pretty common too, I would say, so just watch yourself while you're doing that one, because obviously you don't want to get yourself killed doing a spawn peek. You know what I mean? Obviously you want to get the pick, not die yourself. This is another one you can do. This is like reptile all the way. You do a punch hole here, and then you're able to see people coming out of the spawn over there. And then I guess I will say I will put this one in. I don't know how effective this is gonna be, because this is one's kind of like really open, you know what I mean? But you can come to this like restaurant lobby door, and people from this spawn will funnel out this way or that way, so just watching that way will maybe potentially get you a spawn peek kill. So that is all the spawn peeks on Outback. All right, so the third to last map that we have for this video is going to be Emerald Plains. So let's get straight into Emerald Plains. Now, what is this room called? Painting. I was gonna say it was either mural or painting, but this is the spawn peek that I do literally every time I play Emerald Plains, and this one works awesome. So you get here, you open this up, you flip the cam, you flip this cam in specific. Once this gets shot and people are here, you can run out after a couple seconds, and you get an air angle from here, or if you really want to, no one spawns there, you can run out and you're able to find an area over there. So I really like that one. That works a lot for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I think that one is a very good one if you guys want to try that one out. I'm trying to think if there's any more on the second floor. There's not really any more, I don't think. I mean, I don't think you can really do this spawn peek. I guess you can do this and try that, but it's a really small angle. That's the only really one I can think of. Oh, wait. I almost forgot about the objective over here, which this is admin. I don't know spawn. But basically you open this up, and you're able to obviously crouch up and get any kills for people who are over here, like coming from that spawn. So that one's actually a pretty good one. I've never done that one like in game, but I know that one is, I've seen that one definitely and get some kills. So moving on, we have where I'm trying to find my way around here. You can do this front door. This one works, where you kind of just have to decide which area they're gonna come from, like sound wise. This one works too in the bathroom if you want to do this one. This one's better than the other one, I think, just because you can get more of a straight angle over into that area and that spawn. Moving on, this one down here by like the memorial, this one is super common, but obviously all you do is you just sit here crouched, standing, and you just find your shots through that way. People will funnel through that way for you. Moving on more to this first floor. I'm trying, where's the area I'm trying to go, bro? I swear I never go to like any of this first floor sites. The last one though, I'm gonna say, is I don't have dude, I don't have any freaking, what's it called, bro? I don't have any impacts, so I'm gonna have to run outside for a real quick. But you can do a spawn peek right here, where you're waiting through this area, this spawn over here. That is a good one, but the one that I was trying to show you is you can make like some holes here, punch holes here, or bullet holes, whatever, and you're able to spawn peek kind of this whole area. So that's another good one. That is going to be all on Emerald Plains. There's not a lot, but use those to get some free kills. All right, so for the next map, the second to last map we have is going to be Nighthaven Labs. And for Nighthaven Labs, we have a couple here. So this first one is going to be the front door. Usually you're just going to put a little punch hole here, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to aim here. But honestly, if a lot of people will come this way, so if you do a punch hole, just watch out because this one is pretty common. But if you want to open the whole door, then you can have an access to run out through that whole side of the map, which is actually pretty decent, I would say. There's a lot of people that will open up like this and will spawn peek out of this, and they'll try to spawn peek like the top helipad and stuff like that, so just watch out for that. Also, I have this open, but also you can make a little punch hole here and spawn peek through this way. You can find a lot of people rotating through that way. I'm gonna move upstairs real quick into garage. My friend does this one a lot. You basically just peek at the stairs, people will run up, and you can a lot of times get the kill right there. Just watch out because that one is pretty common. People will look at that. Next up, obviously, I feel like a lot of people know this, but this C4 lineup. This isn't really a spawn peek, but I guess it is in a sense. I'll just show it to you guys. Basically, all you do is you just line your C4 up here. You wait like 10, maybe like 15 seconds. People will come up through these stairs, especially when you're guarding like IT and stuff like that. And we'll wait some people through there. Excuse me. Holy crap. No, this isn't where I want to go. Next, we're going to head over to connector. A lot of the time, you are able to... You can do like a little punch hole, and people will come up through these stairs, and you can get some kills through there. Obviously, I just opened it up more so you guys could all see it. You can also spawn peek through this door. You know, that one's a little less secure, but that one will work. I have seen people spawn peek through this door because obviously the spawn is like back there. So I have seen people kind of chill out this door. Maybe
your location has been compromised.
That's a potential one that you can do. That one's a little sus, I would say, but hey, it is what it is. Also, this is another one you can spawn peek. I wouldn't jump out of this one. I don't know why I opened the whole thing. I just wanted to show you guys where it was, but you can do a little punch hole, and some people, this one could be unsuspected, I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of people do, I feel like, try to push through that way. And then the last one I will say is you can do a little jump out of here. This one, honestly, I feel like not a lot of people jump out of this one, but you wait kind of like the same time as like the C4 one, because people go up these stairs to go to IT, so that's why they'll be rotating over here. So you go over here, you just jump out.
Your location has been compromised.
You need to do. And there it is. That's logs, bro. So that is pretty much all the spawn peaks on Nighthaven Labs. Let's move to the last map. All right, so last but not least, the last map we have in this video is Lair. Now, we went through so many spawn peaks. I don't know if this video is that long or short. I feel like it's very long just because I've been trying to keep it shorter, but like, bro, I feel like I'm giving you guys so many spawn peaks. I feel like I'm literally giving you every spawn peak on the map. But moving on to Lair. This is the first spawn peak. Obviously, this is operational, right, in one ping. But you can do a spawn peak here where you are you can look up at these stairs, which isn't like the best, but also a lot of people spawn through this like cave kind of spawn area. So you're able to peek this way, you're able to peek this way. Usually when I do it, I just peek this way, and you're able to get some kills to that one right there. And that is the first spawn peak on Lair. Now, I'm trying to think where we can go next. What would be most optimal? This is a little jump out that I like to do, where you take this window all the way down, and what you do is a lot of people will rappel up through this way or through this way. And what you can do is you can either, if they're rappelling this way, you can hold this door, you know, for them to rappel, or when you hear them like doing the rappel noise up on that like left side and you hear them like swinging in, what you can do is you can jump out and nail them right there. So that is a good like little jump out that you can do. I've done that one a couple times, and I really do like that one because a lot of people don't really expect you to do that, right? This next one is in this back area, the R6 room hallway. You tear down this door and you pretty much just kind of look this way. You can kind of jump out, or not jump out, but run out more, and be able to find some people chilling up there. That's good for obviously the second floor site. Moving on, obviously this one is pretty common. You kind of have this one where you can watch the roof, you can watch this breach. A lot of people watch that one, so just watch out. Also, you can do it with this window too if you really want to. This one's actually pretty decent where you kind of can tear this down, and a lot of people will run obviously to go to operational because that's a big point of map control, and you can kind of do this and you can swing out if you really want to. So I do really like that one. I think that one's actually pretty decent. And that one's a good one to try. Moving on to this hallway, this armory hallway. Obviously, when people are pushing basement, a lot of the time people try to push this little back door, right? So this one's a very good one because this is leading down from the spawn. This is leading down from the spawn, so you're able to catch anybody over there. And same goes for this window right here. You can do that one over here. That one is a good one to kind of peer down at. Moving on, we're gonna head over into, I'm pretty sure this is like the front entrance over here. Exit range. You can do this door, punch hole, whatever you want. You can really tear this one down. You're able to find some people over there. Just watch out. Moving on into this like firing range area. A lot of people will do this one because obviously people spawn up there. So, you're able to, kind of track these people, or if they're coming down, whatever. You kind of have that whole area to be able to spawn peek at. And then honestly, first floor, I don't really think there's any more first floor, so we'll head down into the basement. Our last level we have. I can't really, I'm gonna be honest, you can't really spawn peek that, but I was seeing if you could. I've never done that one, but this other one here, this exit door, obviously you're in between two spawns for this one, so you have to watch out, but you do have this blue crate, so you can kind of go here, and you're able, this is watching what that operational like window did. But this one, it's just a little farther up, so obviously some people may come down here, but most people won't. So you're able to just kind of like swing in and out. People will come up here. I'm sure you guys have seen some other people do this. Also, obviously, if you do want to swing out, you can swing out if you hear people, but just make sure you guys are listening for behind you for that one, because that one can get like a little dicey if you're not being careful. And then what is this other one here? This one also just watches what those two hallway ones do, but you can open this and just kind of play it aggressively, because obviously I don't really see this one a lot, but a lot of people, will be caught off guard and you'll be able to get a free kill because everyone have their gun up or whatever. So that is the last spawn peek on layer, and that's going to do it all for today's video. So like I said, that's going to be all for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy this and were able to get the knowledge and are now able to spawn peek on every single map. If you need to, you can always come back, resort to it, get your memory refreshed, and watch this video whenever you need, the guidance for whatever map you're on. But yeah, without further ado, that's gonna be all for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy this one. Hit the like, subscribe button if you did enjoy. My socials are down in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.